Today on Eagle Nation News, Goel Yongo heads down to Frontier to report on the opening of the new north side of the park. What does the extension have to offer the community?
Today is the last day of February and the consummation of Black History Month. Maddie Moody recaps the top moments of the month later in the show.
April 7th is right around the corner, which means it's almost time for the big dance. Ashley Parscale is here with junior Brooke Blackstock to answer some questions about this year's prom.
All this and more today on Eagle Nation News.
Live from Prosper, Texas, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Wednesday, February 28th. I'm Jake Fine.
I'm Sola Cantai.
And I'm Brandon Bonaparte.
There's been a lot of debate over Russia's influence in the 2016 election, but it seems like we may finally have some concrete evidence. Sola?
Thank you, Jake. The U.S. intelligence community has brought forth substantial evidence that 7 states, including Texas and California, were compromised by Russian-backed covert operatives during the 2016 election. State websites and voter registration systems all across the country were breached, although no votes were changed, according to several state and federal officials.
The Prosper basketball team has advanced to the 4th round of the playoffs, which will be held at Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland. Anyone who would like to attend may turn in $10 to Mrs. Mueller, along with a signed permission form by a parent, to travel on a fan bus that transports students directly to the game. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m.
Now we send it over to Goel Yongo, who is on scene at Sunday's Frontier Park grand opening. Goel?
Hey Jake, I'm here at the official opening of the new northern edition of Frontier Park. The park features 2 multi-purpose fields that can be used for football, soccer, and lacrosse, and also has baseball and softball fields. The park also includes a playground and many more activities for the family to enjoy. Let's see what the community has to think about the new addition. So what do you think about the park?
Oh, Frontier Park is one of our favorite places, and most importantly, it's one of her favorite places, our dog Phoebe. She loves to come here. We like the soccer fields over there, which is wide open. We can let her off the leash, run a little bit, come around the lake here, see everybody fishing. Beautiful day like today. We're down here at least once a week, just having some fun, getting some fresh air, and stretching our legs.
What do you think this park is going to do for the community?
I think it's going to bring the sports to another level. I think the only time you can't play out here is when there's lightning. If you want to play in the snow, the rain, anytime, they were talking the other day, they just had a lacrosse game and it had been raining for a whole week, and they drained well and they were able to play the game. So I think this is going to be one of the superstar fields that we'll have, and hopefully we can mirror this on a couple other pieces of property that we own.
The new addition was built for the great increase of the population. The open spaces, benches, and picnic tables allow people to have a place of rest, and the natural amenities allow people to bike, hike, or fish. Make sure to go check it out for yourself. I'm Goel Yongo reporting for Eagle Nation News. Prosper.
Thank you, Goel. When we come back, we take a look back at Black History Month.
Mu Alpha Theta is selling pies on March 19th for Pi Day during all lunches. Cheerleader tryout packets are available in the front office. Packets are due by Thursday, March 8th. The PHS National Honor Society is currently accepting applications for the spring induction ceremony. Now through February 28th, you can drop off $10 fast food gift cards in the counseling office.
As February comes to an end, so does Black History Month. Maddie Moody has more on who and what we take the time to honor and why it's important.
When we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
As the month of February comes to a close, so does Black History Month. From Ida B. Wells to the Little Rock Nine, many African Americans paved the way for innovation, civil rights, and humanities. Innovators in African American history that pushed the envelope for new technology and advancements include George Washington Carver, who is credited with finding ways to increase the fertility of crops, Charles R. Drew, who invented blood transfusion, and Madam C.J. Walker, who introduced hair care and cosmetic products designed for African Americans. Some of the most famous and renowned African Americans come from the fight for civil rights. Civil War abolitionists Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, and civil rights activists Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, John Lewis, Medgar Evers, and Rosa Parks pushed for the equal rights and treatment of the African American people, and organizations including the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, and Black Lives Matter continue the fight today. Poets and musicians of the Harlem Renaissance who established a rich African American culture in America, including Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Duke Ellington, and Louis Armstrong, influenced literature and jazz through poetry, prose, orchestral jazz, and soloist jazz, respectively. Each artist introduced jazz in African American literature, which grew quickly in popularity. Jazz has become known as America's classical music because of the work from musicians like Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong. With 28 days in February, only the surface of African American influence in history can be scratched, and history continues to be made today through people and organizations including Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Black Lives Matter, and others.
In our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
Thank you, Maddie. When we come back, Ashley Parskell sits down with Brooke Blackstock to discuss this year's prom.
Now, Ashley Parskell joins us in studio with Brooke Blackstock of the Prom Committee as April 7th gets closer and closer.
Thank you, Sola. It's almost time to start looking for that special dress or perfectly fitted tux. I am here with Brooke Blackstock, who has more information for us. Thank you for joining us today. When are prom tickets going on sale for this dance?
So they actually go on sale tomorrow, starting at $75, and are that until March 18th, and then March 19th they're $80 until April 1st. And you can buy them on the announcements page under the PHS website.
And what is the theme of this year's prom?
So the theme is Casino Royale, and so it's red, white, and black colors. And you can, there's a lot of casino games that are going to be there that you can play. However, there's going to be no exchanging of money or prizes.
Well, I'm super excited for this year. And what is the location of this dance?
So the location is the same as last year. It's at South Forks Oils Barnes Ballroom. And and it's April 7th from 8 to midnight.
And is there an enforced dress code this year?
So there's no set dress code. However, the administration reserves the right to determine if something's inappropriate or not.
All right, well, that is all the time that we have today. Thank you for joining us today. Back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Ashley. Now we send it over to Max Hamilton in the Eagle Zone.
Thank you, Brandon. Last night, the boys and girls soccer team defeated Newman Smith. The boys won 4-0 and the girls won 5-1. In basketball, the boys team overpowered Sulphur Springs in 3 overtimes to win 69-64. That is all I have for you today. I'm Max Hamilton, reporting from the Eagle Zone.
Thank you, Max. Now let's take a look at the meetings for this week. The Talent Tech meeting is tomorrow during Eagle Time in the Hack Shack. Catholic Student Association meets tomorrow at 4 p.m. in room 1225. Interact Club meets tomorrow during Eagle Time in room 2209. Spanish Club meets tomorrow during Eagle Time in room 1109. And the French Club meets Friday during Eagle Time in room 1112.
One announcement before we go. Mrs. Marino will be hosting Prom Shop this Saturday at PHS from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Prom gowns and suits will be available at no charge to you. Please stop by. Refreshments will be served. That's going to do it for our show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Sola Cantai.
I'm Brandon Bonaparte.
And I'm Jake Fine. Live long and prosper.